All right, so I'm not gonna bore you with doing it all, but I'm gonna cut a decent amount out already. Took the thing off of those connectors. Working on this one right now. Since I don't need all of this, I only need that connector right there. I'm actually going through and cutting it out. This is all that I've cut out already in maybe 10 minutes. Like I said, I'm gonna cut out what I know I don't need right now. Like right here. I only need these 6 wires for the pedal. So I will probably come back and get through this. I might hook it back up and see what this does. I might leave it. Might leave it in there for now, drive the truck for a while. I might just start it and see if I unplug it, what it does, if anything. Like I said, I don't know anything about Volkswagens, so, but I will, since out of this harness so far, this is all I need for the pedal. I will come back and just cut these 6 wires out and get rid of all of this. I'm leaving all of this. I know there's wires in here that I don't need, but I don't know what ones. So I'm leaving it. I'm fine with leaving that box. Like I said, this is not the right way to do it. Don't use this as an instruction video on how to do a standalone harness, because I really have no idea what I'm doing. But it's gonna work for me, for what I want. It's not like it's a show truck or anything, so I don't really care as long as it works. But for right now, I'm cutting out what I know for 100% I don't need. And we'll come back and cut these out. Just a heads up. So yeah, so I'm not gonna bore you with a super long time lapse of what I'm doing, cutting the harness out and stuff. So once I get a little bit further, I will come back and show you where I'm at. I might hook it back up to the truck if I get to that point today, and make sure it still starts, and go from there. All right, guys, so far I've cut this pile out. Don't mind that. So far I've cut that pile out. Just got the harness. Just got the harness laying down with the wires that I know it needs, grounds, instrument cluster. So I'm thinking the immobilizer is still on the computer, because maybe not. I just needed the ground for the cluster for it to start. So it does run still, even with having all of that cut out, it does run. Sorry, it was a little all over the place. It does still run. So I think I'm gonna set the harness up in the next couple days, maybe next week sometime. Set the harness up properly, well, better than what it is right now, to start disconnecting things that I'm not sure of. There's a couple wires that I think I don't need. Some fuses, some other relays that I think are meant for the rest of the vehicle, not for the engine. I know I need the 109 relay. That's the main one. I honestly think that's the only one that I need. So yeah, I I feel pretty accomplished. I didn't want to bring you guys along because it's boring going through all that harness. It sucks. But I feel a lot better that I got that much of the harness cut out. So, like I said, yeah, I'm gonna keep plugging away at the harness. I'm a little over it. It's starting to get late, later in the day. I don't really want to be in the shop anymore, so I'm going to head in and get back on it in the next couple days, and I'll keep you guys posted on that. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Yeah, I'll just keep plugging away at the harness and keep you guys informed. What's up, guys? I'm back. Once again, been doing more work to the Toyota, the TDI swap Toyota. Getting pretty close. Like I've said before, super budget build. It's not looking pretty, but it's coming together. So show you what I've done lately. Made bracket for fuel filter using the factory Volkswagen hoses. Just extended some, ran them down along the front, and back up to the existing Toyota fuel line. Got power steering lines done, all connected. I'm hoping that holds. It probably won't, but because it's a pressure line, I don't know if all those clamps are going to be enough to hold the pressure, but we'll see. Got the coolant heater plumbed in. One running to that side, one running to the oil cooler down there. And got the plug up front so I can plug it in at night during the winter. Upper hose, I don't have the radiator in, obviously, but upper hose will sit like that. I'll get a bracket that'll bolt right to there to hold this up off of the injection pump and ram back down. I still need clamps and everything. I'm just test fitting all of this right now. Made this hose. This is actually the hard line from the factory coolant bottle for the Volkswagen. Bent that around to the back side of the head back here. It's probably hard to see. Vacuum pump is all plumbed in. Still need to shorten hoses, mount this somewhere, and run that line once I get to that point. But it's ran to the turbo, ran to the vacuum reservoir, I guess. Got that mounted back up there. Heater hoses, once again, I'm making what I have work for now. So had to flip that around. I had that basically 180 degree curve right there in that hose, so I ran that back through there. Other heater hose is going right here. Got the mock-up of intercooler piping. Intercooler here. Just gonna get a coupler for here and run pipe that way, pipe to there. I got that one on the turbo, got to cut that off and couple that somehow. But yeah, it's coming along. Still got to do a little bit of wiring cleanup on the outside. Got to run that somewhere. Inside's still a mess, but it starts, it runs. It's getting pretty close to being on a first test drive. Right now I'm probably going to work on making a new belt system for this. Be taking that pulley off right here, this idler off, making my own bracket I got from another YouTube channel. and make my own bracket using that pulley up here and routing the belt that way. So that's what I'm going to get started on right now. All right, guys, did a little bit more work. I don't think I did anything else besides this. So this is what I got going so far. Cut this plate out, cut some slots, not very pretty. Welded a nut that this bolt will thread into. Drilled a hole, obviously. Welded the nut to the plate, so that gives me my spacer that I need off of, so the pulley's off of the plate. It's going to mount to the 2 bolts on the alternator. I need longer bolts to actually test it, but I need to get a belt for it anyways to make sure it works. But yeah, so that's gonna sit just like that. I'm gonna have my adjustment there. I don't have a whole lot of adjustment. I don't know if I need to make this plate bigger, but I think it'll work. I just need to get longer bolts and a belt, and I can test it. So I'm gonna get going on probably intercooler piping, and I gotta extend some wires over there that'll come over to the MAF, because I don't think this car is, the ECU is deleted for the MAF, so I think I still need that. I need to extend harness to the vacuum valve over there. So I'll probably be doing little stuff like that. I'll keep you updated as I go. So like I just said, it needs longer bolts. That's just sitting in there. It's hard to tell on camera, but this pulley is a little too far out, so the shims that I got, the spacers, are a little too big, so I could probably just shave those down. But that's the basic setup. Adjust it like that. Hopefully that's enough, but I could probably get a shorter belt than what I'm thinking I'm gonna need, and make that work, so I don't have to build a whole another one. So yeah, I probably, either if I can find shorter, smaller shims, spacers, I'll get smaller ones, and hopefully that'll bring this pulley in a little bit to line up with the other 3, I guess. If not, I'll shave those down until it fits. So yeah. What's up, guys? So once again, just focused on working on the truck. Didn't film a whole lot. Stuff that I kind of covered in the last clip. Just buttoning up cooling system. I got the radiator in, got a fan in. Still need to wire the fan up. I put this tank in since I'm running the Volkswagen Dash, and not a whole lot of stuff is deleted off of the computer except for the EGR delete. Like I was saying before, I have to run the Volkswagen cluster because of the immobilizer. It's not deleted. So having that cluster in the truck with everything, I decided to use this Volkswagen coolant tank so I can run the electrical connector and have that system all, I guess, tricked, thinking that it's working. I'm just using this as like the overflow for the radiator. So it's got water in it just to basically take the light off and make it think that it's got coolant, everything, which, I mean, it does. But so it doesn't try to put me in limp mode. I don't know if it will or not, but just as a precaution. Had the truck running for quite a while earlier. Got up to about 190 and without the fan being connected, just idling here. So that's pretty good, I guess. So trying to bleed the cooling system. It's kind of being a pain right now, but just letting it cool all the way down. I got the clutch line in, and it's partially bled. The truck does move forward and back. Got the clutch bled, so the pedal still feels a little squishy, so I still need to bleed it a little bit more. But yeah, it's coming together. I have to extend the wires for the MAF sensor. It's throwing a code for that, so that's not deleted off of the computer as well. But I need to finish running intercooler piping first before I can, well, I guess not before, but need to run the intercooler piping and run the MAF sensor somewhere with an air filter. Don't know where I'm going to do that, since this is kind of a disaster, but it works. So that's really the last couple things that I need to do. Finish bleeding the clutch, finish bleeding the cooling system, intercooler piping, wire up the MAF with an air filter, and just remembered got an oil catch can I need to plumb in. But other than that, it's almost there. So a little bit more and we'll be on the first test drive. Guys, it's done. It drives. I got a little too excited and forgot the camera on the very first drive that I did in it. And it drives absolutely amazing. So much power. Super loud with that exhaust that I've got, but I didn't drive it very far. It's not registered yet. The tab's expired since the old motor blew up a long time ago now. But I'm gonna take it up in the mountains, up past my house, so should give me about 10-15 miles one way, so 20-30 miles round trip. I'm gonna take you along for that, for most of it. Do some scouting for hunt season and testing out the truck, make sure it's reasonably reliable. So yeah, here we go. I don't know how much you're gonna be able to hear me, but we're cruising. She rips. So there's no way that I'd be able to pull this hill in third gear about 30 miles an hour in the Toyota B4 with the stock 22R motor. This thing's got so much torque compared to the original motor. Be able to pull this hill all the way to the top. I always had to downshift at that last corner back there. I'm still cruising. I've got all the power I need to keep going faster. Just cruising along, checking out these logging roads up behind my house. is why I wanted to keep the independent front suspension, so I can bomb down these logging roads and have a little bit softer ride than a solid axle truck. And because I already spent all the money in gears and lockers and stuff for IFS axles, so did what I could to keep the IFS, and it seems to work great. I was worried that the hood wouldn't close, but it actually does. Probably only because of the body lift that I did, but I mean, it's working great. I don't know, 6 or 8 miles in now, no problems. Temperature's still good. I wired up a switch for the fans, but I haven't had to turn it on yet. It seems to be holding right out 190, and I only have water in the system right now. I don't have coolant because I wanted to make sure there was no leaks or anything before I put that expensive ass Volkswagen coolant in it. But yeah, keep you posted as I go, but so far it's doing great. Plenty of torque. I'm in love with this truck again. It's probably one of my favorite, if not the favorite vehicle I have ever owned now. So even though it's a shit box, but it's a pretty sweet shit box. But yeah, I'll do another video eventually. Once I get it registered. I need to make some more money since all of my money went into this. But once I get it registered, I'll do another video of driving on the street and tell you how that is. But yeah, loving it. So I got up here to the top, almost the top of the mountain, checking out these views. Kind of, like I said, scouting for animals, mainly bears since bear season's coming up. But yeah, checking out these views, and I figured while I'm here I might as well kind of go through a little bit of the build on the truck if some of you guys don't know, and kind of the cost that it took for me to get it to where it's at. So to start, I bought the Toyota about 4 years ago now, for $1,000. Running, driving, already had the 33s, $1,000. Kid just wanted it gone. Drove it for about 3 of those years. Then the head gasket blew almost a year ago, probably 8-9 months ago now. I kind of used it around the house, so I haven't been building it for 8 or 9, or for what, 4 or 5 months now. I haven't been building it for that long. It seems like I have, but yeah, so I got the Toyota for $1,000. It's shit box, it's rusted out, whatever. Ran and drove. That's good by me. Then I bought the Jetta, the donor car that the engine came out of, for $1,800, running, driving. Already had some stuff done to the motor, like I said before. I don't know what's done to it, probably injectors and a tune. Drove that for quite a while, had some problems with it. Starter, or something else that went bad on it. CV axle bolts came out, little stuff like that, but it's still a good car. So once the head gasket blew in the Toyota, I took the engine out of the Jetta and went from there. I already ordered an adapter plate, because I was going to put this in my rock crawler. Since I used to do competitions, I'm building a new one. I was going to put this engine in it, be different, but plans changed. So $2,800 for both of the vehicles, $600 for the adapter, so that puts me at $3,400. Like $50 for the hockey pucks for the body lift, probably another $50 or so, I'd say, in miscellaneous bolts and clamps and little stuff like that, wire. I lost track of some of the receipts, so I don't have an exact number, but that'll put us $3,500. About 200-ish in cooling hoses. Already had radiator, fan, all of that stuff. I'm using the factory intercooler. Probably, now this is where I don't like about the build. I went really cheap on like plumbing clamps and fittings for the intercooler, but I mean, I've gotten on it a few times and nothing's blown, so it's holding good. So that was just kind of a mock-up so I can get the routing that I want. I'm going to take the whole pipes from intercooler to turbo, take them in somewhere and have someone TIG weld some aluminum pipes and actual silicone clamps eventually. But this was just to get it going. So it was probably another 100 in that. So with the 200 in hose and cooling hoses and 100 in intercooler piping, that puts me at what, 3,800. What else? I can't think of anything else major that I put into this. Yeah, mainly wires and hockey pucks, power steering fluid, whatever. So I'm sure there's something that I'm missing. I forgot to show you guys, since I moved the trans forward 1.5 inches, I had to shorten the front drive shaft. I shortened it about 2 inches, 1.75 inches or something like that. Got that back in there, so that works. Got enough slip. So yeah, I'm $3,800, $4,000. Let's just call it $4,000 total into this build, including the purchase of both vehicles. I feel like that's pretty damn good to get it going. I've heard of people putting well over $7,000 into one of these builds. Yes, I did do it cheap. I didn't do anything to the motor when I had it out, but it ran good before. Could use a valve cover gasket, but really that's about it. Yeah, so I'm $4,000 into this build and I absolutely love it. Honestly, I'm really only, what, $1,200 in extra parts and stuff like that. So I mean, $1,200 if you already have donor vehicles. I mean, it's not bad. And mentioned before, if you didn't know, I re-geared the axles to 488s, put Detroit True Tracks limited slips in them, so I have the traction. I didn't want to go full lockers because it is going to be a daily still, but yeah, I mean, I used as much as I could from the Toyota and the Volkswagen, made it work. Like I said, it's a huge budget build, and so far it's working great. I don't think the glow plugs are actually working, so I have to look into that. But if I need to, I've got the coolant heater plug that works, so that'll help if glow plugs don't ever work, and it does get really cold out here in the winter, so I'm definitely gonna have to plug it in. But yeah, everything's working so far. I've probably put 20 miles on it now, and beating it up on these logging roads. I mean, really wanted to give it a good shakedown, and beating it up on these logging roads is definitely going to do it. But once I get it registered, I'll take you guys on a street drive, see how it does long distance. And I'm hoping with the 33s and the 48 gears, I needed the 488s to turn the 33s with the stock motor, the stock 22R, but it seems like they might be a little too low. Probably could have got away with like 456s with this motor and been fine, but I'm hoping with these 488s and the TDI, known for good gas mileage, I'm hoping I can get 30 to 35 at least, if not closer to 38 or something. 40 is probably pushing it, but I mean, I was getting 48 to 52 in the Jetta, and I think I did the math once. The gear ratios are, the final gear ratio in the Jetta and the final gear ratio in this are pretty similar, if I remember right. So, and the Toyota probably weighs a little bit more than the Jetta, but the Jetta is a heavy car with this engine in it. This engine doesn't weigh much more, maybe 40 pounds more than the stock Toyota motor. And it's got the turbo on it. So I don't feel like this has changed weight that much from factory. So I'm hoping I can get 35 miles to the gallon. And I mean, that'd be absolutely amazing. 15-gallon tank and 35 miles to the gallon in a little Toyota pickup. That'd be pretty nice, especially in these days with gas prices so expensive. Yeah, diesel's more expensive, but if I can get 30-ish miles to the gallon, then it's better than any of the other vehicles that I got. My wife's got a car that gets like 45 miles to the gallon, but that's her car. So yeah, so far loving it. Yeah, like I said, I'll keep you guys posted as things go. Yeah, hope you enjoyed this series. I know I kind of slacked on filming a lot of stuff, a lot of the build process, but I started to film, and then I just got into it and didn't want to stop and grab the camera, and totally forgot to grab the camera. But yeah, I'm sorry about that, but I was just so excited to get it done and driving that I just kind of spaced it. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. Stick around for the next couple videos. Don't know when they'll be or what they'll be of, but I know one of them will be me street driving this, doing another review on it. But so far, it's probably the best thing that I've ever done to one of my vehicles. Alright guys, I know it's been a while again, just giving you an update on the Toyota. I know I said I would take you guys on a road test with it, but it's just too loud with that exhaust to really be able to hear anything. So just giving you an update on it. I did put a little muffler on it. It's like 3 inches long, fits perfectly right where up in that fender well. Been driving it for, oh shoot, it's probably been a month or so now that I've got it done. I'm just slacking on getting videos out for you guys, I'm sorry. But been driving it for about a month now. I've got probably 2,000-ish miles on it, and it's doing great. I changed out the intercooler piping. I was having problems with that. If I'd get on it too much, it would finally blow. But that's all taken care of now, and got the muffler done, the intercooler piping. Is really all I've had to change on it. But yeah, it's still doing good. Just sitting out here. Got it parked away. Don't drive it all that often now because it's super hot out and doesn't have AC. But you can see this section right here is the muffler. Changed this up, got it tucked in a little bit more and pointing more out the side, kind of downwards, instead of coming right up into the passenger window. I think it looks a lot better. It's tucked up there better. So yeah, got that done. Just kind of driving it here and there to make sure everything's still good. I took it up in the mountains a couple weeks ago with some friends, and I had one of the coolant adapters for the one of the heater hoses broke while I was up there, and got it bypassed so I could finish the day out with them. Got the new part. I haven't put it in yet. It's not leaking coolant or anything, so it's good. But yeah, I've been driving it for about a month now, and the last tank that I put in it, I got like, I don't know, it was like 430 miles or something to a tank, and that wasn't even all the way empty. That was still a quarter of a tank left or so. But that equated out to 33 miles to the gallon. It was like 32.8 miles to the gallon that I was getting in that truck. And that's kind of getting on it every now and then, and a little bit of driving in the mountains. But yeah, roughly 430 miles. I could probably push 450 to 470 if I really wanted to. But I don't want to run the tank down that low since I don't have an inline pump to help the injection pump. So I don't want to starve the injection pump if it gets too low. So, but yeah, it's doing great. If I can, I'll try to get some more videos of it. If you guys want, let me know in the comments what you want to see. It's probably going to be a little while till the next project. See if we can see it back there. Yeah, that white Toyota way back there. That'll be the next project. Don't know when I'm going to get to that, but yeah. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments what you want to see. Yeah, that's pretty much it. That's the end of the TDI build. Hope you guys enjoyed. So I guess we'll see you on the next project.